News around the world, into Africa and across the nation Nigeria. You're welcome to ITVS News. My name is Anoluakpo Idowu. The World Health Organization, WHO, has disclosed that over 500,000 Africans died through cancer in the year 2022 as it called for urgent intervention to avert a projected 1 million annual deaths by 2030. Considering about 882,000 new cancer cases reported in the African region the same year. WHO Regional Director for Africa, Motshido Moeti, in a message to commemorate the 2024 World Cancer Day, noted that more cases and deaths may be recorded yearly if there are no urgent interventions. Moeti also said the cancer situation in Africa is disheartening, noting that approximately 882,000 new cases occurred in the African region in 2022. She said about 573,653 deaths were recorded in the same year, and the regional director also noted that about 50% of new cancer cases in adults in Africa are due to breast, cervical, prostate, colorectal, and liver cancers. Away from that now, the National President of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, has said that the federal government has now implemented all the agreements it reached with the organized labor, particularly between ASUU since the administration of President Bola Tinubu inaugurated in May 2023. He stated this in an interview session with the newsmen during the week at the Gidan Kwano main campus of the Federal University of Technology, Minna. Futmina, the Niger State capital, adding that the members of the National Executive Council, NEC, of the body are currently on a nationwide consultations with members at various branches of the union in order to take a decision on the next line of action at the NEC meeting scheduled to hold later this month. Professor Sodeke expressed regret that despite the gentleman agreement between the union and the federal government, no dime had been paid to its members, thereby creating unnecessary hardship for their families. On the possibility of embarking on industrial action to press home their demands, ASUU said the association will present all suggestions gathered during its nationwide consultations at the NEC meeting and take necessary action. Recall that ASUU embarked on a nationwide strike action which crippled all academic activities for 8 months in 2022. Away from that as well, meanwhile, the transmission company of Nigeria, TCN, says the national grid has been fully restored after a partial disturbance at about 11:21 a.m. on Sunday. Mrs. Ndidi Mba, TCN's general manager, Public Affairs, in a statement in Abuja on Sunday, said the company initiated immediate restoration of the affected part of the grid. Mba said that prior to the incident, total generation on the grid was about 3,901.25 megawatts at 8 a.m., a little over 3 hours before time of partial collapse. According to the National Control Center, NCC, the Internet of Things IoT revealed that just before partial disturbance, which occurred at Sapele Stream at Egmi substations, lost 29.32 MW and 343.84 megawatts at 11:20 14 hours and 11:20 17 hours respectively, totaling 373.16 megawatts. According to her, it's important to note that low power generation has persisted since January to date, exacerbating daily due to the lingering gas constraint, and TCN has promised to launch an investigation into the cause of tripping of Sapele Station and Egmin power generating units. Away from that now to Oyo State, where the Oyo State Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Honorable Dr. Wasiu Olatunbosun, has charged political leaders to remain focused on good governance till targeted policies are realized. Olatunbosun gave the charge during Oyo State at 48th anniversary discourse and honor, which was tagged Keeping Oyo State's Place as Space Setter State. The event, which was held on Saturday at the Western Hall, Oyo State House of Assembly Complex, Agodi, Ibadan, where the three panel discussants, Oloye Lekan Alabi, Dr. Mrs. Adegbite Oyetola, and Honorable Wasiu Olatunbosun, the Commissioner for Culture and Tourism in Oyo State, emphasized on policies surrounding critical sectors like agriculture, education, and governance. Olatunbosun would cited the prominent politicians like the late Obafemi Awolowo and Chief Bola Ige emphasized that the vision to educate the masses was duly followed that paved way for a lot of learned people in Oyo State as of today, including himself. He applauded Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde for his vision and sustained around acceleration for the sustainable goals and development, especially in the areas of education, health, security, and expansion of economy through agribusiness and infrastructure. Also, the commissioner lauded the initiative of the governor in the aspect of security and described the Western Nigerian Security Network, codenamed Amotekun, as a trailblazer in Nigeria. And Oyo State has the highest number of Amotekun in the entire Southwest, which numbers is up to 1,500 compared to some other states. Among other discussants were Adejumoke Oyetola, who talked about the education sector and some tertiary institutions owned by the government. So far, also the convener of the event, Tope Eleru, who gave remarks on agricultural development and Oyo State as a larger producer of cassava in the world. And into the foreign scene, as trucks carrying humanitarian aid into Gaza Strip on Sunday through the Rafah border crossing with Egypt, there was increasing concern over the humanitarian situation in the Palestinian enclave. The delivery of much-needed aid to Gaza's 2.3 million people has been further complicated by a decision by several donor countries to pause funds for the United Nations Refugee Agency for Palestinians, UNRWA, the main humanitarian agency in Gaza. More than a dozen countries, including the United States, announced they would suspend contributions to UNRWA following Israeli allegations that 12 of its agency's workers participated in the 7th of October attacks in Israel. The United Nations organization was created in 1949 to help displaced people during the 1948 war following Israel's declaration of independence, and continues to play a pivotal role in the Gaza enclave. And groups and other UN agencies have urged donors to continue supporting UNRWA and warning that a failure to do so could have catastrophic consequences for the people of Gaza. And that's it today on ITVS News, and on behalf of the entire news production crew as well as the executive producer of this newscast, Itayo Folorunsho, thank you for joining and do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.